91 Americans die from opioid overdoses every day, a number that has quadrupled in less than 2 decades, making opioids the #1 killer of Americans under 50. That's more than guns, more than car accidents, more than cancer. And if we once thought that only certain communities are affected, today it's all over the map. What makes people in our society turn to opiates to begin with? And what is our society not doing to prevent the making of more and more heroin addicts? Many heroin addicts begin their journey with pills like these. They keep going to the doctor to get more until it becomes too expensive or hard to get a prescription. Then they realize they can get a similar high for a lot less money on the streets. Now it's called heroin, and they don't know exactly what it's being mixed with, but their life revolves around getting another fix until they overdose. This typical storyline reflects a vicious cycle. Trying to hold the gigantic pharmaceutical companies accountable is a lost battle. Cracking down on doctors pressures them to underprescribe, driving users to look for heroin on the streets a lot sooner. The so-called war on drugs was recognized as a huge failure, and that leaves us blaming addicts themselves, which is like beating the messenger instead of reading the message. First, let's recognize that in most cases, those who abuse opioids don't turn to them because of a genuine physical pain. They turn to them for an emotional pain. When you were a baby, the milk you got from your mother was rich with opiates. And when someone gives you a hug today, your brainstem generates opiates. There are millions of opioid receptors scattered across your body, designed to balance emotions like anxiety and stress. The thing is that social support, trustworthy relationships, a loving family, or even just a safe and positive social environment are all related to the production of opiates right within your body. So the craving for opiates is deeply intertwined with the craving for human connection. Now, with this in mind, let's open our eyes to what's happening today. Our society makes people so stressed, anxious, and lonely that their natural supply of opiates just doesn't cut it. To put it into a simple social equation, we generate a lot more alienation, uncertainty, and stress than we generate safety, compassion, and camaraderie. The result is masses of people turning to artificial opioids, which can be seen as an act of counterbalance. The opioid crisis is like nature's way of telling us what we have to change in our society. We're biochemically connected to each other, with both our physical and psychological health depending on the positive connections that we make. This drug crisis joins a list of other painful symptoms, all converging to show us that a massive transformation of our culture is in order. For instance, what if we had connection centers where individuals could participate in safe and positive social interactions for all ages in every neighborhood and all around the virtual world, so that anyone, long before they turn to opioids, could easily find an environment that generates warm human connection. Let's activate the natural high we're wired to experience, just from being positively connected to each other. It won't just reduce opiate addiction, it will lift us out of the narrow prison through which we view our social reality and help us envision how we can create a connected society.